All right. Yeah, here we are. What's up, guys? With me, who is this guy? Who's this bald guy who's beautiful? Who's this beautiful, beautiful bald guy? Where are you at? He's not even paying attention.
I'm right here.
There he is. There's
Taking a
that.
moment to taking a moment to stroke my beard.
There you go. There's that sexy JL Warren. Look at him. All right, so you're on the Plot Hole After Show. I got JL Warren on, who is always active in the live chats during these debates, especially. So, what do you make of what happened there?
Well, it definitely was a slaughtering team and fight. Uh, Pretty much through everything they had, every bit of information. That I mean, they're so well prepared. They're so practiced in it. It's second nature to these guys. They threw everything they had at him, and he came back with the classic, I guess the classic responses that they've heard 1,000 times over. You can tell that RTR wasn't super prepared because he kind of had just those rote responses. Whereas team and fight have they've worked on such a balance between the two of them, moving from topic to topic, and each one taking over for the other one. And they've gotten so good at it. You've really got to be on your game if you want to take the two of them on together, because that's a practiced pair. And so I think RTR was a little out of his league.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. JL is echoing a little bit. I'm trying to work on that. Sorry, there. Hey, would you blow me?
I fucking love his name.
I love that. Him and Huge Arse. They're great. They're great. Irish Demon, I sent you a thing to join. How come you're not joining?
And Quiddies. I love Quiddies' name too.
Yeah, his has been a like a progressive stream a change. All right, let me see here. So yeah, RTR just kind of seemed a little bit out of his league.
Yeah, it was doing these things. I mean, I wasn't that great in my first debate. I thought I was okay, but you always prepare. You learn from it. If he's willing to go out and actually try to take on other individuals who follow the evidence and understand the predictive model that we all understand. If he's willing to wanting to go out and take these people on again, he's got to prepare better. He's got to have answers that not only meet the expectations of his interlocutors, but he's got to have a model that he understands, and he also has to understand the model of his opponent if he wants to debunk it, because ultimately that's what they're trying to do. Flat earthers are trying to debunk the globe model or the heliocentric model, whichever one. The problem is they can provide no evidence that debunks it because all the evidence supports it, and then they can't even agree on a model themselves within their own community, which is kind of sad in that respect. Because if you have that kind of division, if you look at no matter what we all believe in, we could all be different denominations. We could be theists, we could be atheists, we could be from different countries, we could even be of enemy countries. Students in North Korea hate us as Americans, but we both equally understand that the Earth is a sphere, is an oblate spheroid. We understand this, and yet in the flat Earth community, they can't even decide on a singular model themselves. Everyone's got their own bit of information, and that's because they're pulling from highly subjective sources, either the Satanic Bible, or they're pulling from the Holy Bible itself, or they're just picking and choosing or cherry picking from their favorite YouTubers to try and understand what's going on, or to try and I guess come across with a cogent model that they think they understand. But when it comes down to it, it's all about understanding physics, understanding astrophysics. It may be a bit ahead of them, so we don't know if they're not willing to do the work. I can understand why Craig gets so abrasive at times, because he's not willing to do the work for them. He did the work. He put the effort in. People like Skeptic, people like myself, people like Irish Demon, all these individuals in the debunking community, they did the work beforehand. They got the education. They paid for it. They busted their asses in school, even though they knew they'd probably never apply it in real life. But they still did it because this is an interesting thing to us. We want to know this stuff. We want to understand it. And they're not even willing to go that far. So
Yeah, and see, that's a hey, there he is. There's a good old Irish demon.
Here's the
Wanda!
man.
How's it
There he
going,
is.
guys?
What's going on,
I
man?
can't stay too long because myself and Mrs. Demon, we're going to see our friend's new baby today because the restrictions were just lifted. So we finally get to go out and do some things and go to a cafe and things like that. So yeah, I can't stay crazy long, but I'll stay for a little while.
Awesome,
How's
awesome.
everybody tonight?
Well,
Irish. Be honest. That's code for sexy times, isn't
isn't
it?
it? Isn't it?
Maybe.
It's not. It's not. Hey, we're gonna go. It's we're gonna go make a baby. That's what it is.
Hey, I'm not against that, man. I got no problem. If that's what the code is. I don't know why she's putting on all that makeup for it, but
Well,
I'll take that. I'll
she's
take
gotta
that.
feel sexy, right? That's. I mean, I
Yeah,
look.
true, true. I've got to go put on my makeup too. I think my guy liner.
Your guy liner.
Hey, Irish,
So
while you're here, I'm so glad you jumped on. I wanted to pass on my gratitude, my sincerest gratitude for helping us out over at Week in Horror with our subscribers. We
oh
haven't
my
hit 100 yet. Yeah, we haven't hit 100 yet, but you got us a huge bump, and
that's awesome, man.
dude, thank
Glad
you
to
so
hear it.
much, man.
So my friend that was on the stream chatting last night, Rob, Aussie VHS Thrifter, he's a huge horror movie guy. So I got to send it on to him actually and ask him to plug it on. I think his channel is bigger than mine, but he'll plug it on there too because all of his people are like absolute horror movie nerds. So I know they'll love that channel. So that's going to be awesome. So what did you guys think of that debate then?
Um, well, it kind of went exactly the way I thought it was going to go. He couldn't answer questions, and that's
Yep.
the biggest problem that I have when hosting these debates. And I try and stay as objective as I can, right? So I'll
Yeah.
bust everybody's balls when their balls need to be busted.
Yep.
They're spherical balls. Um, but it's
Minor
tough.
oblate spheroids, thank you
Oh,
very
Yes.
much.
yeah,
All
minor.
minor spheres.
I don't know. I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask Mama Tega what mine are.
Oh, she'll have to look deep in her purse to get them,
She'll
right?
have to dig them suckers out. Yeah, she'll have to dig them out. I can't. Somebody was, I'm gonna kick in the balls. I said, well, she's over there. So anyway, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough staying objective in these things because they're just so blatantly dishonest.
Yeah.
You know, you can't answer the. I asked a very simple question of how do you explain sunrise and sunset on a flat spherical Earth when you seem to have this this Terminator line that doesn't make any sense. And
Mhm.
his answer was, oh, I don't really know. We don't really know what light is.
It's like perspective, man.
And then yeah, of
Yeah.
course they hit up the perspective thing.
As always. It's ridiculous, man. Like he came at us with all of the typical Flurf stuff. I mean, there was nothing new there. It's just all been done and done. I was watching Aaron Ra debate Jeranism. It's an old video, but he made a really good point there. He was like, you just like somebody with very strong religious convictions, you have to completely suspend reality in order for your beliefs to be true. And when you get to that point, you're flogging a dead horse. Then you're never going to get taken seriously, and then that's just what flat earthers do. So yeah, it was no surprise. It was still a lot of fun, but it was no surprise. There was nothing new there, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, look, I understand that these people get a little upset when Craig and team give them the treatment, but when you are being blatantly, I'm just gonna make up fucking words. I'm gonna go the Sarah Palin route, and just make up fucking words. But when you're blatantly being dishonest, it's just, I mean, come on, answer the question or say, hey, I don't really know. If we got a flat earther that came out and said, I think the Earth is flat. I don't really know what's going on. Can you guys explain it to me? I'll tell you why I think the way I think.
Yep.
And then have an actual intellectual conversation, an honest conversation that says one way or the next, or this, that, and the other. Or, hey, I think the Earth is flat because of, the my P1000 can bring things back, whatever. You know what I mean? Hey, John Rapp. John Rapp's in the chat, man.
I still have I've asked a question a lot of times on one of the flat Earth groups, and I still have not got a concise answer. So a lot of people ask, how come they don't have a working model? And the answer to that is because simply their models don't work. But even if you go off a basic map, any one of the flat Earth maps at all, one big issue comes up here. I'm in Western Australia in the Southern Hemisphere, or the outer part of their map. I cannot see Polaris because they say it's too far away. However, my friend, so let's say I'm here, Europe is here, they can see Polaris, but I can't. But I've got a friend in Argentina who can see the same stars as I can, and he's twice the distance away from me than they are. So how come we can see the same stars at that distance, which is a huge distance, and I can't see the same stars as the guys in the middle? It makes no sense. And why are the stars on either end of their map the exact same? It makes no sense.
Well, then, in the level of predictive capability of our model is that we can, with what we know about our spherical Earth and our place in the cosmos and in the solar system that we're at, and we can make predictions regarding the moon, regarding solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, and anything at all. I mean, we can predict solar activity based upon the things that we see. So the fact that we can, and we know how it will affect our planet. Yep. So it's the predictive power is where that's at. We have, I think, there's going to be a solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse here in a few years. I think 2027. It will be hitting in, and the path of totality will be right here over Dallas. And I'm so looking forward to that because I missed the one over Missouri. It's going to be badass. We know when that's going to happen down to the fucking second.
Exactly.
And yet, if you walk the science backwards, you go to their flat Earth and you set up their model, whichever one, and you number one, that even if the moon and sun do cross each other, you can't predict the time correctly.
Exactly.
Because you need all those variables that play into that to get that prediction. Yeah. And they totally, no, it's fake or something like that, or some other excuse. I don't understand.
The thing that blows me away about that is with all of the science and the availability of really solid information out there, they still deny it. But people thousands of years ago, like, sun worshippers and like guys trying to scare people into believing their religion, were able to predict it down to the millisecond and say to people, I'm going to turn the sky black if you don't, pay me or whatever. And then boom, they turn the sky black. I think there's a historic reference of Jesus doing that. And it's like
Columbus did that.
Oh, Columbus did it. But there you go.
He did that. He did that to get supplies to go from the natives to go back to Spain. And they denied him because they were supposed to get him through the winter, and they were like, oh well, if you don't, my God will turn out the sun. And lo and behold, it did. They gave him the supplies, and the sun came back, and he got on his boat. And as far as we know, they all died. So
there you go. And that's it. And it's so the predictive power. I think predictive power gives you everything. We might not know 100% why things happen. Sometimes there's no reason why things happen. They just happen, but we can predict it, and they can't predict it. As Aaron Ross says, they don't know jack about shit, and that's it.
He actually doesn't live too far from me, so I hope
really?
I haven't met him because because we live I'm in North Texas, we're up here, but he's like over in Garland, I think.
Oh yeah,
which is literally like 30 minutes away from where I live. So
yeah.
He's the coolest.
I thought he was more like Kentucky or something.
No, he's I think homegrown Texan.
Yep, he is. He's a cool guy, man. Aaron Ra. His level of intelligence is. I love when he debates flat earthers because I
love the fact that he looks like he used to be in a fucking like a hair metal band. Like
a fucking death metal band or something.
Like an 80s death metal band. Yeah.
So badass, man.
His flat earth debates are pretty sick. I love hearing him talk about natural sciences. That's his forte. He moves through that like just perfection, and just when he took down his takedown of Ken Hovind's son face to face.
Oh, that was insane.
Outside the Ark encounter, that was so brilliant.
Amazing. He destroyed that fucking guy. I cannot
taxonomy.
Yeah, yeah. But the things like even the quotes he comes up with, one of them that makes more and more sense to me every day. There's a German physicist that looked at somebody's paper and was like, "That's not right. That's not even wrong." When it's so not right that it's not even wrong, it's completely fucked up. But yeah, God, it's unreal.
All right, so we've got. Let's see here. What do you got coming up? You just posted a video there, didn't you? Your Nathan Thompson video.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I just finished filming another one about Steve Pennington. He's that's the guy that thinks that women who don't cover their heads in church should be held down and have their heads shaved. So he went off on that whole thing again today. So I did another video about it. So I'll probably release that later. When I go Betty Buys down here on the bottom half of the planet.
Hey,
but yes,
why aren't you upside down? Let me see if I can fix that.
Somebody actually asked me that. I'm actually hanging from the ceiling. That's why I have the hat on to keep my hair in.
Oh, I got you.
One thing is okay. First question, Johnny, is RTR, will he be joining us?
I don't think so. I think he's had his fill.
Okay, because man, I had two things I wanted to run by his ass.
Okay,
and
yeah. So you mentioned something. I'm curious. What was it? What was it you were looking at?
Okay, so the biggest thing I wanted to run by him was when I was talking about it's a classic problem. It's been brought up before, and I'm just repeating it. It was that if you plot out all the cities on Earth on a graph, like on a just a graph them all out, and you between each point you scale the distances to keep the values true from what we know.
Yeah. Do you know?
And then
did you see how he tried to weasel out of that one though?
Yes, I did. I did.
I don't know. I don't.
He knew exactly where I was going when
yes,
you asked
of course
the question.
He did.
He was like, so how do you know the distances that you travel? If you're driving to this, I just drive. I don't look at the day. I was like, come, it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. How do you know how much gas you're gonna buy, you dumbass?
Right.
But I was like, but if you look at that and you do that and you keep those distances, or you keep those distances true, the values true, then it forms a spherical model. And then I always expect him to come back and say, well, how do you know the distances are true? And it was like, because there was a time when we couldn't drive and we couldn't fly, and there was time we didn't even have boats. So, but when in 1775, when we established the United States Postal Service, they had to do that on horseback.
Yep.
And we know those distances, and we had to plant post offices to make sure people got their fucking mail on time. Mm-hmm. That's how we know the distances, and everything is based upon basically the westward expansion of the United States. So we know those values, and other countries did the same fucking thing. So if we use all those plot points and we put them all together, it makes a fucking sphere.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
His weaseling out of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Usually look at the odometer. Oh, okay.
Well, even that works.
Yeah, right. So, what do you think that fucking odometer measures? You dumb shit.
Measures how many fucking tears he sheds when he knows how goddamn wrong he is.
Well, I mean, again, I try and stay as objective as possible, but it is very difficult because obviously I don't believe in the flat Earth. It's very, very obvious. I make that painfully obvious. But I try and stay as objective as possible. That way, I'm trying not to interject myself into the debate. So when I ask these questions, I try and do it with as much. What is the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. But yeah,
you want to come at it from the most objective position possible.
Exactly. There's the most inquisitive way as I can. So it's not meant to be attacking their position or anybody who comes on any of their positions. Like when we had Eddie on a couple of weeks ago, you and Eddie were going at it, and I was asking him questions. Again, I try to, you know what I mean. He was easier because he was at least a little more open to conversation and listening to what you had to say, and responding to your points, and then. It was more of a back and forth. It was more of it was less of a dumpster fire.
Yes, yeah. That's the one thing I myself as a debater want to try. I always try to avoid is because I know the spectacle of the dumpster fire makes for for great entertainment, but I'm about the exchange of ideas, even if the exchange of ideas is not what draws an audience in. But I angle for like the Matt Dillahunty approach, or the Aaron Raw approach, or the what's his name? Fucking, he was just on your show.
Professor Dave.
Professor Dave. Professor Dave. I want that kind of approach so that at least the information I'm coming across, they can look at, and I'd like to be as informative as I can be entertaining. I know this is not exactly entertaining, but I try to at least spread that knowledge there, and you start. I love you, Craig. I do. I don't know if you're listening, but when you bring out the hammer that fast.
Yeah.
I kind of had to. I had to message him during that first 20 minutes. Like, hey, can you like back off just a little bit? I know this really gets your goat, but can you just like back off? I was like, hey, can you be nice? And before we even started the show, I was like, hey, I would like for him to last more than 20 minutes this time. Don't chase him off so quick.
I gotta say, I love when the likes of Aaron Raw and Professor Dave, but specifically Aaron Raw, when he does lose his temper, it is remarkable. Like he was debating a Christian apologist, guy from down your neck of the woods, I think, and he was like this really old, typical, creepy pastor type. Yeah. Oh shit. And he was
probably side 10 Bruggen kid or some shit like that.
Could have been. He was like Aaron Ross said fuck at one stage, and he was like, I'm not going to sit here and debate somebody who's going to use no 4-letter words. And then Aaron Ross was like, well, shit. So funny. He's like, I can fucking say whatever I want, and it doesn't change the fact that I'm fucking right and you're fucking wrong. I was like, yes, get him.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Sometimes what would have been really cool is if he would have sat down and said, "Fine, I'm not going to use a single 4-letter word in this, and use nothing but the biggest, most complicated word salad words ever."
Yeah.
And Clive, yes, Craig does like to get his opponents to rage quit, which is okay when he's on his channel. But when I've got 3 hours to fill, I need to go at least 90 minutes. I don't mind the rage quits either, because that just goes to show that you couldn't handle the heat. But I mean, come on, give me 90 minutes.
Somebody commented on one of my videos, an Irish guy wearing a Guinness branded hat for a fancy dress party. Insert ethnic joke here. Oh man, I do bring it on me sometimes.
Do you guys see the idiot?
Stay.
What's up?
I've got to go. I would love to stay, but we gotta head away because we've got to be there in like an hour and a bit. So I've got to go get showered, and I've got a lot of body to wash. So.
All right, Irish.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take it into Have a good one. All right, man.
Yeah, I will. See you later, guys. Good to see you.
Take it easy, Chief.
See you. Bye.
All right, so John Rapp says, did you guys see the Idiot 6 putting shit on the Dragon Crew flight? Crap, like those guys wouldn't be able to lift their arms with a massive acceleration of 200 kph. Don't even know the units. Yeah, 200 kilometers per hour. I don't even know what that is. I can't math right now. It's late for me, and I'm half retarded, so.
Not even gonna try.
Not even gonna try, but yeah. Well, I mean, why would they want to get the math right? So that's like the biggest issue. They don't want the math to be correct because it completely just disproves their point of view.
Well, to people like Flat Earth Aussie Roscoe, it's like it's wizardry.
Well, of course. It has to be. Look at that fucking guy.
Like, we're obviously great value Gandalf.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness. Fred Bailey says, would anyone come on my channel if I had one without looking first? Sure. Why not? Keith Newton, what'd you miss? Hi, Keith Newton. You missed quite a bit. 124, yeah. And Sherlock did the math for us. 124 miles per hour. Thank you for that, Sherlock. But yeah, I mean, it's just it kills me listening to these people whenever they're sitting there trying to circular reason their way around their position, or just ad hoc everything.
Yeah, the explanations they come up with. I do wish there was some more variability in there, but most of the guys, most of the guys that established itself, people like Nodell, people like Jaronism, Mark Sargent, JM, Shelley, we're seeing these guys drop off. They're not engaging anymore
Well, they can't
because
be.
yeah, they've been trapped so many times, and the individuals that they go up against, I mean, so like, and even then, like Simon Dan, he doesn't even. It's pointless to debate because it's an objectively false position. It's demonstrably
Yes.
false. So there's no point. There can't be a winner when one place is coming from an objectively false position. So I mean, the leaders in this community are getting to the point where they won't even engage with us anymore. They just want to run their mouths from the anonymity of their computer in the comment section.
Well, so I think they've
And
realized that the money train is slowly but surely trickling
is
off.
diminishing, which is why you see them going off into more dangerous territory, like fucking anti-vax shit.
Anti-vax,
And
yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
So contributing to public health issues, and now that was that's one that actually that pisses me off. Flat Earth is funny.
Yes.
Just I laugh my ass off, but at the incredulity, but anti-vaxxing, that's just.
So, yeah,
I
that
mean, if you
stuff
look at
is
what's going,
dangerous.
where was it? Was it Wisconsin? It was just was it Wisconsin that there is a large uh there's a large ethnic community up there. I can't remember if they're Indian or if they're Sikh or like this, but I think it's a Sikh community. And and they got a hold of the anti-vax movement and they stopped vaccinating, and it was one of the largest measles outbreaks
Oh yeah.
in U.S. history, just in that one community because they're so tightly knit, and they stopped vaccinating because of stupid fucking videos, because of assholes like, I'm sorry, like people like Jim Carrey or Jenny McCarthy who are out there going stirring up fear when they don't know shit. And then you have this, so now we have outbreaks of shit that should have been eliminated, that were virtually eliminated years ago,
Right.
and now it's all coming back. And when it comes back, it can mutate, it could get worse, we could see more deaths.
Yeah. So, well, really quick, in Jim Carrey and Jenny McCarthy's defense, at the beginning of their anti-vax stance, or their, I don't know if it was so much anti-vax when the beginning, but it was definitely, we're going to question vaccines. I mean, there is a lot. At the time, there was, quote, evidence to support where they were coming from. Now, little did they know that it was, completely falsified information. And by falsified, I mean forged. So the numbers were...
Yeah, the doctor that came up with it lost his fucking license. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, it
but
doesn't really matter.
He lost his license to practice, and he's no longer a doctor because of that shit.
Right.
So it's an obvious. He was running off of the. He was running off of the. As we get better at diagnosing autism and diagnosing these childhood issues, and we can be more precise in determining what level, and further defining the spectrum of autism. As we got better at that, you begin to determine autism around the same age that children are getting the vaccines. But of course, correlation does not mean causation. He was running off of that ideology that, there's obviously a correlation, so it must be causing it.
Yeah, correlation versus causation. Sometimes, yes, it's true, but just because something correlates very rarely doesn't mean it's the cause. We did start to see a spike in autism cases at that time, because we started really beginning to understand what the autism spectrum disorder is. And I mean, I kind of wrestle with this. I have a son who's autistic, and I wrestle with this whole situation about the right way and the wrong way, and what causes it, and what does this and what does that, and blah 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 blah. But I wrestle with this because there comes a point in time where you have to decide as a parent whether or not your child is going to be able to transition into the world, into the real world, or are they going to need long-term care? Now, I'm pretty sure my wife and I we're lucky enough that our son is extremely high functioning. Most people would think he was just a little hyper. Most people couldn't tell that he's autistic. But as we start to understand more and more, and the general public starts to understand more and more, they get it. They can see, like, yeah, I can see where he's got these tendencies. But yeah, it's a difficult thing to decide what we're going to do. How do we treat him and I don't mean medically. I mean like how do we treat him as a human, as a child, when it comes to this disorder? You know, I have to make the difficult decision on how do I want to be tough on him for this, or do I need to be a little more easy on him for this? Because I've got a job to do. I've got to get him prepared for the real world. I think he's going to be able to get out there. You know, I think he's going to be able to contribute to society. So that I have to prepare him for that, and it's a very difficult thing to do. So in I kind of went off on this little rant, but in Jenny McCarthy and Ace Ventura's defense, they did have
Fire Marshal Bill.
They did have their reasons, and they were valid at the time. And you know, it's okay to be a little hesitant when it comes to what you want to put in your body, because I do what I can to put as little medicine in my body as possible. It's simply because I don't like taking medicine. That's a personal thing for me. Now, if it's necessary, then absolutely. You know, I mean, my knees and my back are fucked, right? I'm in constant pain. Every single day I'm in pain. If you see me take...
Well,
go ahead.
Well, unless it's fun medicine.
Well, even that. So even then, I never really got into I never got into devil's lettuce. I used to drink a lot. And I think that's part of the reason why I never really took a whole lot of medicine, because I was always drunk. But
that's one way to do it.
I mean, you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm in constant pain with my back and my knees, and it's if you see me take medicine for that, you know I'm in some serious pain. It's like I can't fucking deal with it. But so what I guess what I'm trying to say is I understand the need to say, hey, what are we really doing? And you should question your doctors whenever it comes to medicine or treatments or anything. You should question your doctors. That's one thing that I want people to understand, is that just because your doctor is a doctor, your doctor works for you, and you need to know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you go for treatment, or for any kind of treatment. Even if it's, hey, I've got a sore throat. Well, hey, I think you have strep. Cool. Are you sure? Yeah. How are you sure? Well, we took a test. We got this here. Strep. Okay, I got it. But you should never just take everything on face value. You should know what you're getting yourself into. Know what kind of medicine you're going to be putting into your body, because that's essential. You know, if you start going into anaphylactic shock and you have no idea what you put in your body, how are you going to be able to, you know, deal with that? So, anyway,
the information is there. The information is there. You know, you can talk to anybody you want to talk to. Any medical professional will be willing to answer those questions.
Yes.
And walk you through it. And it literally is. Your Google food doesn't even need to be that strong in order to find out what all of this stuff is.
Right.
That's pretty much it. And at that point, once the information is all available and it's readily available and you can get to it, the only thing that should keep you away from it, the only thing that would keep you away from it, is if you're just an incredible conspiratard that thinks that everybody is out to get you, or the government's out to get you, or something of the nature, or, you know, if you're the Alex Jones variety, you know, most of us are not like that. We can go out and do our own research. I hate using that term. The flirts have fucking ruined it. But we go out and we do the research ourselves.
But that doesn't mean what they think it means.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we do the work. We do the fucking work. That's the point. So, because we are willing to do it, because we want to know, because the objective truth, as a skeptic, objective truth should be your final goal, to believe as many to accept as many true things as possible,
right,
and not accept as many false things as possible. Well, if you want that, that's the goal. You've got to be willing to fucking work for it. And if you're not willing to do that, then why should we waste our time? We're not fucking teachers. So,
yes, Quiddies, it was something. That debate was something. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, I gotta say, it didn't help that in our position, because we had kids right around that whole time of when the whole the new wave or the original wave of anti-vax started, that whole Jenny McCarthy thing. So there was a lot of things like, should we get them vaccinated? Should we not? What's going on? and let's do the thing that we're supposed to do and talk to our pediatrician about it. Well, we went in there. Yeah, Sherlock Demon is frozen. He's taking a shower. But we went to talk to our original pediatrician, and this month we asked him, "Hey, we're thinking about following a different schedule, a different vaccine schedule, because there's a lot of needles at once, and it just seems like we're just boom, 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 boom. Can we talk about a different schedule?" And this fool, he looked at it and fucking slapped the fucking fake teeth out of his mouth. But this fool looks at my wife and I and says, "Well, if you don't do it, we're gonna report this as child abuse." Say, "Excuse me? The fuck did you just say to me? You're gonna report?"
That's a little extreme.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, "Wait a minute, we're not." Well, you're refusing to get him vaccinated. I said, "No, we're not. That's not what we said. What we said was we would like to discuss options, alternative schedules." And he was just like, "No, you're going to sign this paper that says you refuse, and we're gonna report this as child abuse." I said, "Well, you're about to have to report fucking geriatric abuse because I'm about to kick the shit out of you."
He's slapping old man.
Fucking hell, man. I mean, he was like belligerent about it, which when you're in that, when you're already in that position of not understanding what's really going on and all this misinformation is coming out, and part of that misinformation package is, well, doctors are just pushing it on people because of X, Y, and Z, and then you go see your pediatrician and he's all, "You will do this or I will report you for child abuse." That kind of indirectly reinforces that conspiratorial thought process.
So, I can see that. If as a gut reaction, as like the knee-jerk reaction, I can see it was like, why are you trying to push this so hard?
Right.
I don't have kids, so I can't speak from that. I would say, I know kids can make you emotional. Obviously, you come from an emotional place. They're your child. You're wanting to protect them. My mind kind of goes, the deal is like, what does he know that I don't know, that he obviously doesn't want to tell me to keep from upsetting me? He may be fully aware of the statistics or he's run into so many parents that refuse to vaccinate or whatever, and he's seeing the statistics of the results of people not vaccinating, and from his perspective as a doctor and a healer, he understands the disease is a bit better than the layperson does, and the horrors that come from that. Sure. And it's like, people say, "Oh, it's just measles." So like, no, measles is a terrible fucking disease.
It really is. And so the reason why that we think, oh, it's just the measles is because we vaccinated against it. We've almost almost eradicated it. And the people that were getting the few mild cases, the few cases of the measles that were showing up were mostly mild. So yeah, that's the reason why we were all, "Oh man, it's just the measles, no big deal." But people,
no, a full blown measles is fucking horrible. Rubella is horrible.
Yes.
Whooping cough is horrible.
These things that can kill you.
They're equating this shit with like chickenpox, and even chickenpox with the right genetic predispositions can be fatal.
Yes, not to mention it turns into shingles.
Exactly, and then it was like measles. Your kid could go blind. Okay, or could die.
Right.
That's the point. That may be what's on his mind. That doctor may be saying, "I'm looking at these statistics every single day." A pediatrician, I have to track this shit, and he sees what these idiot parents, or these, I wouldn't say, maybe not all idiots, but their ignorance born out of their fear.
And and I get it, and I understand that, but if you're going to be a pediatrician dealing with parents who are probably, you're going to be dealing with a lot of new parents.
Yeah.
Having that, what's going on here? Oh, golly. Streamlabs is being silly.
Fucking Streamlabs.
Streamlabs. Anyway,
are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. Having that, I got to figure that out because Streamlabs is just timing people out for 60 seconds for silliness. Having that just, you will do what I say attitude because I say so. When you look at a person like me, the quickest way to get me to do what you don't want me to do is to tell me I can't do it.
You can't vaccinate your child.
Oh,
no.
Really? Cool.
No, stick all the needles.
No, give me the fucking needles. I got them all right now, motherfucker.
Do to him like they did to us in the fucking 80s. Because when I got vaccinated, it was like 1983. And they stuck the fucking shit out of my ass.
Oh yeah. Well, but you remember when we were growing up, and I've got my old shot records from school. Don't ask me why I have them. My mother kept them. She gave them to me. She thought I want them, and I still have them. So whatever. But when we were growing up, there was like 22, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Now there. I mean, there are a lot. There are a lot of vaccines. I mean, these kids get stuck often, and
But let me tell you this: for any of you people out there who are concerned about vaccines, anybody in the live chat concerned about vaccines, I'm telling you straight up, vaccines are nothing compared to getting allergy tested back in the 80s.
oh man,
Okay, that
nowadays it's not so bad. Nowadays it's
easy. They can do allergy testing and it's no fuss and muss. Back in the 80s, they stabbed you so many goddamn times with everything you could possibly be allergic to.
Yeah,
and
well they still do that now.
Oh, but I'm assuming it's a bit improved now than it was then.
So I'll put it this way:
almost medieval.
My middle daughter, or I'm sorry, my oldest daughter, she had to go get the allergy testing, and she had to do all the needles in the back, and it was a bunch. It was like they just like a rack of needles and just said blah blah on your back. But she was 9 or 10 when they did that to her, and she was like, it's no big deal. And she is a wuss when it comes to pain. She cannot deal with pain. She stubs her toe on a piece of paper. You think she's gonna die, and she was able to get through that.
Differently.
Yeah,
I can.
And she was able to get through that just fine. So it's not as bad as it used to be. But yeah, they still do because they got when they do the allergy testing, they usually do it in 2 sittings. But they have to do it all. They have to try food.
Yeah.
They do the food test, and it's like 20 or 30 little stabs in the back. And then like the airborne allergens and whatnot, same thing.
Oh, I remember that. I was so young, and I still remember that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I can understand with looking at what they were about to do to her. It's like, holy shit, golly, that's and they bring this fucking thing out. It's full of fucking needles. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are you about to do with that? Is that Uncle Fester's bed? My goodness.
I'm so bummed. I actually messaged what's his name? RTR.
Yeah.
I messaged him, but he hasn't responded to me. He's still on, but
is he?
Yeah, but I was hoping he would respond to me because I really wanted to run that by him. Just and now that we're in a more calmer environment, I'm not as acerbic as team or fight. I'm not going to try and beat his ass, but I do want to walk. I want to walk with him, give him the opportunity to walk down these logical paths with me.
Yeah.
To look at the information that we don't even need science. I mean, Professor Dave did a fantastic video about just looking at the moon. Look at the moon, you can determine that the Earth is round.
Right.
It's very, very simple. And just walk him down that path. Just like, okay, this. You can understand this. Boom. Welcome to normalcy.
Yeah, that's here's the thing. I mean, that's an excellent Earth evidence right there. Spherical evidence is the cycle of the moon. Why is it that everybody all over the world sees the same side of the moon?
Yeah. And another aspect I wanted to go after, because I've never gotten the opportunity to ask a flat earther directly why they need the Earth to be flat so badly. Is like, if you take for just the information alone, just take the information and set it over here. Take all the other information over here, just from a perspective of living your life. Why does the Earth need to be flat for you? Whether it's round or whether it's round or flat is irrelevant to how you conduct your life and how you live your life. Whether the Earth is flat or round doesn't matter. With you going to work and being to work on time, that's just having a clock, or deciding whether or not to go to a friend's birthday party, or deciding whether or not to go on a date with somebody, or go on a blind date. None of this fucking matters. Or none of this is fucking relevant when it comes to whether the Earth is flat or not. So why is it such a huge focus? Why do they need it to be flat? And what draws them to be a kind of acolyte to drive home this point? And I really want to get to the depths of that. I really want to just say, like I want to go to them.
So here's what I've gotten so far. based on what based on the bit of conversations that I've had with some of these flat earthers outside of it, it very much has to do with a fear of the unknown. Okay, it very much has to do with I have to be important. Not necessarily that I have to be important. Some of it is an ego thing, but other ones it's more of a like, where do I go when I die kind of thing. And for them, the earth being flat and God being just above the firmament, that is comforting to them, because then they think, oh well, when I die I get to go hang out with God and whatever in the above the earth and this, that, and the other, versus the well, when you die you just turn to dust and then that's it. You're just a little teeny tiny speck of.
God, it just kills me. There's just so much more to it than that.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree.
You die, and your respective components that build you return back into the systems of the earth, into the water, into the air, into the ground itself.
Exactly.
And then those go to feed the systems that are running around, and you basically refeed the cycle that fed you your entire life.
Yeah.
And you get to be a part of that again. The elements that composed you, that came from stars and came here to this planet and eventually came together to form you through natural processes, you then die and return to those natural processes so the cycle can continue. Being a part of that in this brief little window here on this planet, which will not sustain life forever, just the nature of how planets live and die, life can only be here for a brief moment,
right.
From a cosmic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And just being a part of it, just getting the opportunity, just right there for that moment, that's special enough. There doesn't need to be anything beyond that. That's incredible. Then you get to return to those elements again.
But think about it this way. This is one thing I hit him with. Regardless of what the earth is, let's say, why does your spirituality have to focus on a flat earth? I mean, what difference does it make if the earth is flat when it comes to spirituality? Why can't God have made the entire universe as it is, and you still have, this afterlife? That's, for me, that's where the hang up is. Why does it have to be flat? Why? Because God must be flat. I don't understand that. That's the thing that gets me, because it doesn't seem to matter outside of that, from the religious aspect of it. Because again, God could have created the universe in the way that he created it, as we objectively see it every single day, and still exist and still take it to heaven when you die. It doesn't have to be a flat earth. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. And I'm extremely curious from a psychology perspective as to why the subject dominates their thought process and dominates so powerfully, and why it virtually drives every online interaction that they have. And from what I got, when I went out to the Flat Earth International Convention. That's where I first met Team, and I met MC Toon there as well. But when I first went out there, I didn't go out there with a camera. I didn't go out there with to do interviews. Team had his whole setup.
Specifically be an observer.
I wanted to engage with these individuals, and I didn't want them to feel like I was cornering them. And to be perfectly honest, I had some fantastic conversations with some very, very nice, very, very nice people, but ultimately came away, it was very, very sad. It was very disheartening, and I felt even more animosity towards the leaders of this group, to the leaders of this movement, because
they're predatory.
They are predatory, and I met a lot of people that were deeply religious,
yes,
deeply spiritual individuals who are angry and afraid about something in their lives, something that made them feel like they were no longer a part of the world or no longer a part of their community. And every one of them was willing to throw away their entire lives, their entire savings, sometimes even their own families, simply to be a part of something that made them feel included, a little tribe of their own that they could be, and who these other individuals who felt that they were just they were totally special.
Yes.
It's like, you're in a special club now, and
right,
you are so important because you have the truth.
Yeah,
and it was like,
it has
no
the
different
same
than,
markings as the what are they called? God damn it.
of the denominations of religion.
Of cults,
Of
right?
cult, yeah, it's definitely a cult. But I saw the same hallmarks as, like, of Christian denominations. There's over 100 denominations of Christianity,
Sure.
and you go even further. With all the gods that are out there, and each one takes their own position in how they approach their beliefs, how they approach it spiritually. Whether it's a literalist in the Bible, or whether the Bible was allegorical,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe we don't even use the Bible as all. Maybe we just use it as reference, but we come up with our own rules. Doesn't matter. That
Yeah,
little
but
group of
hang
individuals.
on a second. Let me challenge you on something there for a second, because even
Mhm.
still, even when you look at some of the religious aspects of the religious people out there, there are loads of people who believe in God and can still function in the everyday society with a job and not be just
Oh,
incredibly incredulous and no la 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 la. You know what I mean? They function. They can look at objective reality and still maintain their position in it. Um, so I when I say that these people, these leaders of the flat Earth, like the Mark Sargents and the Nathan Thompsons and the Bob Nodells, these are people who look at somebody and they have figured out a way to be able to exploit them,
yes.
and they pull them into
Ugh.
this.
I cringe at the thought of Nathan Thompson being referred to as a leader of anything.
Well, I mean,
Ugh.
every idiot needs an idiot to follow. So
This is true.
he's just loud. So when you're an idiot and you see somebody loud saying the same things that you are, you just kind of blindly follow that, thinking that he's a leader. But I mean,
That's yeah.
these guys, these people, they are so they take advantage of stupidity, of ignorance, and they exploit it. And then they make you feel like you're something super special so long as you are feeding that machine. But we've seen what happens when you break away from that ideology, right? This is the reason why I say that these guys. I won't say every religion is a cult. Okay, there are some cults in religion, and these all fit what I'm trying to get at here. Because if you look at who am I thinking? Seek Truth, Speak Truth. When he broke
Yes,
away
I was
from
just thinking of him. Yeah.
yeah, so when he broke away from the flat Earth, man, they fucking ostracized him. The videos that they make about him, the things that they say about he's a fraud, he's an idiot, all they just drag him through the mud, and they give him this treatment, very much like if you were to break away from, say, the Church of Scientology. Look what happened with Leigh Remini when she broke away from the Church of Scientology.
Yeah.
Same
Actually,
kind of thing.
I want to throw in there that I think it wasn't just the fact that he broke away, because I have no doubt that there are some that he is. I don't think he's the sole outlier. I would hazard. I would even bet a paycheck that there are probably people out there that started that were in the flat Earth community, and they quietly slipped away. They just disengaged very quietly, and they just went about
Sure.
their lives and went back to their normal lives. But See Truth, Speak Truth did it with such gusto, and was like, you know what, and he was willing to go on the internet, throw his face out there, and be like, I was fucking wrong,
Yes.
and this is how I discovered I was wrong, and walk us through his process. But I would hazard that it was when Simon Dan had him on his show, and then all of a sudden his subscriber count skyrocketed
Oh man.
to
Yeah.
like 10,000, and he went from, like, I think a few hundred to like 10,000.
Yeah.
That's what pissed them off, because now all of a
Yeah.
sudden he's in a position to be successful based solely upon what he's doing, and they can't do that. They will not
Exactly.
see the level of success he has, and that is what's pissing them off. It comes down to money. They're pissed off that
Really.
now all of a sudden he's in a position to start making money off his channel. His community has grown. He now has he I yeah well, I wouldn't say we're all friends, but we all accept each other. And if we were all hanging out in public, we would be friendly. He now has the opportunity to do that, and they don't. So they've suddenly seen one of their own travel, they'll like leave the flock and go to where the community is, and that's what
Right.
pissed them off. That's why they attacked him so
Exactly,
bad.
exactly, and he's having a lot more success than these people that. What was it? Was it Ranty? Is that who?
Yeah, Anti went after him.
Yeah, I mean, he's like hardcore going after him, and it's obvious that he's just jealous.
Oh, it's absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I was watching videos of See Truth Speak Truth, and he was calling people like me fucking Satanists, and he was going after Simon and Dan. He was going after everybody.
Yeah.
It's like we were Satanists, we were devil worshippers, we were going down the wrong path, we were all going to burn in hell, and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden he goes quiet, and then he comes back because after his conversations with Baldy Cat
Yeah.
or Conspiracy Cats, either one. I know he's interchangeable, but after those conversations, all of a sudden he was kind of like, "Whoa!" Because I love Conspiracy Cats' approach, because he's a teacher,
Yeah, exactly.
and I love it. Yeah, and I love how he brought that approach. Now, I'm not a teacher, but that's the kind of approach I want to take.
Well, we can all be teachers.
Yeah.
Just ask Nathan Thompson.
That dude is so fucking cringy.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you, for the people in the live chat that don't know, I was there when it wasn't even a confrontation because
in Dallas, right?
It was in Frisco at the Flat Earth International Convention. I was just hanging out there. I met up with Team. We went inside. I wasn't even going to go inside. I was just kind of walking around the building because I was like, oh, I don't have a pass. I don't know if I can go in. And then Team shows up. It's like, fuck yeah, we're going in. So we all went in, and Nathan had been talking a ton of shit. Like he was going to beat Team's ass, or he was going to blah blah blah, whatever bullshit he was going to do. He was running his mouth. We go in there, and there's Nathan, skinny ass fucking Nathan, walking down, pretending like he doesn't recognize the people who and then just like just trying to avoid us. Then gets some big tubby goons to come over and confront us and kind of like block us so we can't get to him or some shit like that.
Oh,
the shit was absolutely. I've never seen bitch made real life until that moment right there.
Yeah.
That motherfucker ran like a bitch. And I had no investment. I was there. I was literally there just for my own edification. I didn't film shit. I just wanted to witness. And I could say, Team made him run. That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see. I would love to meet Nathan Thompson in real life, see how he handles me, because Team. Whereas he will verbally, and I'm sure Team Skeptic will stick up for himself if it needs to be. But Team Skeptic is more of I'll verbally put you in your place. Me, if you step cross to me, I'm probably gonna fucking knock you the fuck out.
Come on, dude! You're a big fucking softy. You know it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm one of the nicest big guys you'll ever meet. We can disagree, and we can be a complete opposite ends of the spherical Earth when it comes to whatever. We can have a discussion about it. We can even have a heated debate about it, and that's fine. But the second you do some dumb shit, I'll fucking let you. I will let you have it. I don't have a problem with that, because again, I do everything that I can to stay away from that physical confrontation. I really am I'm more of a pacifist than I am somebody who's just going to go, I'm going to kick your ass and whatever. But you know what I mean? There comes a point in time where pacifism doesn't work anymore. Now it's time to light your upism.
Yes, I was looking at the chat. Yeah, Quiddies is absolutely correct. Quiddies, the sprinkler. Nathan will only talk big if he thinks someone has his back. Otherwise, he's a total coward.
Yeah.
Yes, he is an absolute fucking coward.
Yes.
What blew my mind is because he tried to do that flat smack bullshit here in Texas, and I know he pulled that stunt. He pulled his stunt here. He pulled that stunt in fucking South Carolina, and he pulled that same shit here in Texas. But he approached a stranger, some dude, who had a NASA sticker on the bumper of his truck.
Oh Jesus!
And he
Christ.
and he went, and it was in the parking lot in front of the Petco that was over there in Frisco. And he just like started. He was filming himself. He started yelling at the dude, blah blah blah, getting into it. And I was like, and I saw it after the fact. I wasn't personally there. If I had been, I might have smacked him, but he was being such an asshole.
Yes.
But I was like, dude, do you not realize that you're in fucking Texas?
Yeah.
This is an open carry. This was after the open carry passed. Like 80%. I think I'll say like 70% of the dudes out there are packing heat in their trucks. And if you get up in someone's grill like you were doing, they may just pop you one. And very dangerous state to be pulling that shit in.
Yeah.
But he pulled that shit here in Texas like an idiot.
People say, well, that's brave and ballsy of him. No, it's stupid of him.
No, it's very stupid. Yes.
You know what I mean? There's bravado is different Bravado is, facing. I mean, I'm sorry, but you don't go up to the lion and piss in his face. You just don't do that, right? So bravado is dealing with a lion after he's chased you, facing a fear, overcoming a fear. Stupidity is when you go again, piss in the lion's face, or go up to a Texan and say, "Hey, I'm gonna, dude." Yeah, I am shocked that this happened in 2 southern states. Because
it's a dangerous playground to be running around like a crazy person.
It is a very dangerous playground. There's not sticks there in that freaking sandbox. Okay, these are boomsticks.
I wouldn't want to get into I wouldn't want to get into a confrontation with him simply because I've seen those photos that he put up on Instagram, and
Which
I
ones?
have when he's like showing off his veins and shit and how fucking thin he is,
Oh
and
my god,
how much weight he's lost. And he's to the point. It's absolutely unhealthy. Now, I say this. I'm a big dude. You've seen me in person. You know I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that. I had a friend a long time ago who was probably as thin, if not thinner, than Nathan Thompson is right now. The dude was he was almost 6 foot. He was 145 pounds. Just total skin and bones. He had the vein situation just like Nathan did going on, and I never would want to get into it with him because if I punched Nathan Thompson, his chest would collapse.
Yeah, he would just fold over like a fucking sack of potatoes.
His organs would fail.
Yes,
and I'm not interested in stuff like that. It's like I don't know. He's gonna one day, and I know he's gonna be filming. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's gonna run across somebody who doesn't give a fuck.
Yes.
So.
One day he's gonna find a guy like me. Let that motherfucker come up on me when I'm putting my kids in the car. I've had some fools make that mistake before, and I'll let them know really quick. I'll let you know. I'll give you one verbal warning. Back the fuck off, or I'm going to fucking take my watermelon and fucking throw it at you.
I want video you hitting Nathan Thompson with a watermelon.
Dude, I swear to God, if I'm ever at the grocery store and Nathan Thompson walks up, I will smash a watermelon over his head.
Eat that, you fucking vegan.
Yeah, there you go. There's your vegan diet, you motherfucker.
And yes, John Rapp. That kid in the playground. Yes. Are you crazy? That kid won the internet that day.
Yeah,
that was. Are you crazy? Yes.
That was great.
Yes, son. He's crazy.
All right. Well, it's getting time for me to take my old ass to bed. Ah, man. What do you got coming up on the Weekend Horror there, JL?
Oh, shit. We got episode 39.
Did you see what I just did to him? Did you see what I just did to him, everybody? I said, JL, what do you got going? And he's all,
there's so much shit going on. You were on episode 38. That episode goes live on
40.
Sunday. No, well, remember, we're off a little bit on the back end, kind of the behind the scenes, but it's technically episode 38.
Damn it. I was hoping to be 40.
Yeah. You're on episode 38. You were an awesome guest host. I appreciate you coming on and
filling in for Al. Yeah,
it was a blast. That goes live on Sunday on Anchor and should be up on YouTube as well. Hopefully same day. I know Eugene is busting his ass right now getting that put together. We have the new Bloodbath debate, the Collector versus Jigsaw, coming up. That'll be between me and Alex.
Sweet.
That's coming up next week, and then pretty much just put that together before the Master Debater series.
Yeah.
Which will be June 20th. And I'll be with you, and Eugene will be with us, and we'll have 2 other people debating which was the best in the franchise of the Scream film series.
Yeah.
And this has been a busy month. That's pretty much it.
That's cool.
Hopefully, we'll hit 100 subscribers. I'd like to get everybody's talking about 1,000 subscribers. I just want to hit 100. That'd be really cool.
It's always good to get to that hump, right? So you get to that 100 hump, and then all of a sudden you're at 150. It kind of grows. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hey guys, if you haven't been over to with the Weekend Horror, go over there and hit that sub button. Help them out. See what we can do. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, if you like 3 horror nerds sitting around talking about horror film in very nerdy ways, excellent show. I mean, hell, I was on it. I'm a fucking nerd, so there you go. It's a lot of fun. what do I got going on in the plot hole? I just put out my top, well, not top 10, but my 10 stupid things flat earthers say. That's live right now. If you haven't seen that, go check that shit out. I'm particularly proud of it because it's hilarious. I am told to let all of you know that there is a earbuds warning for the explosion sounds on the countdown. My mistake. I was editing that very late last night, early this morning. So I didn't check my levels on that before I put it out. My apologies. Just know that it'll get really loud for a couple seconds. I plan on doing that or something like that because, you know, the plot hole started as a top 10 show. So I plan on doing a top 10 at least once a month. Commander Darklight just became the top tier Patreon, so I'm going to have him get involved if he wants to with that top 10 for the next top 10 show. I don't know what it's going to be about, but that'll be awesome. And then JL and I will do the movie review Mondays. Those are fun. I think what are we doing? We're doing Your Next.
I'm doing Your Next, the home invasion slasher. Yeah, Your Next.
That I don't want to get too much into it, but that's a good one. I like that one.
I like it. Yeah.
I like how there's some things I like about it, and some things I was like, man, this is stupid. But we'll say that for the video. Let's see here.
You brought it up, and my producer will kill me if I don't mention anything. You mentioned your Patreon. We also at Week in Horror, we also have a Patreon. If and only if you have the ability to support us and you want to support us and you actually like what the fuck we're doing, obviously liking and subscribing, that helps immensely. If you do want to support us, we did put in a $1 tier for anybody who would like to help, but you know, just to throw a dime our way, that really helps us with the show's production. We have our other Patreons have seriously increased our level of being able to, camera, mic, very, very cool stuff. I mean, I wouldn't have this bad boy. I love this thing.
It wouldn't have all those cans and.
I have a lot of Diet Coke cans. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me move those. My desk is so fucking cluttered right now. I've got so much shit going on, but we really appreciate that. All of our Patreons are so fucking awesome. We wouldn't be able to do the show without them. If and only if you're able to, and if you want to, we really would appreciate it. But as always, definitely check out the YouTube channel because we're really hoping to get our subscriber base up. That really helps us out. And because eventually we want to take this thing live. We want to do live streams. We want to give away tons of horror merchandise. We got ridiculous amounts of shit. We have a special thing going on with $6shirts.com. They're kind of sponsoring us. We have monthly shirt giveaways, and eventually we want to go live to like horror conventions and do live podcasts there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we want to go to Texas Frightmare Weekend. We want to do a live broadcast from Texas Frightmare Weekend and have like special guests that, the celebrities that might want to come on and talk to us, stuff like that. That'll be fun. And eventually we want to start getting into generating our own original content. That's kind of the super far down the road goal, is to start producing Week in Horror. We want to start producing original content for the internet. That's a hope, but it all starts with you guys. And if you love what we're doing, if you don't, just tell us to fuck off and
Oh no!
Somewhere else.
No, don't do that. Yeah. So if you can support the channels through the Patreon, that's awesome. If not, again, like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that gets us exposure. Well, I don't know if it's exposure that we need. Link your channel there. You know what? Let me find it. I'll link it. Don't you worry about it. I'll link it. Let's see.
I know you got the best link.
Do I? I don't know if I do. Where is it? Damn it! Where'd it go? There it is. All right, cool. Let's see. Boom and boom. Hey, Glass Monster. I'm sorry about that. Streamlabs is being weird. I don't know what it's doing. I got to figure out why Streamlabs is doing that. So, we're actually about to shut her down. So, yeah. Thank you all for stopping by the Plot Hole After Show. I really appreciate it. Like JL was saying, if you can support the show, that's awesome. Go to Streamlabs, make a donation, buy a shirt. If you like this shirt right here, look at it. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. If you like that shirt, you can get that on the plothole.com through Streamlabs. Yeah, patreon.com/theplothole1 if you want to become a Patreon. And again, if you can't do that, we totally understand with times being the way they are, going through all this bullshit. We absolutely understand. Like, share, subscribe. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. I love you guys for sticking around.
Mostly in the end, for all the people listening out there, for everybody in the live chat, for everybody who's going to hear this later, we really, really, really just hope that we as entertainers can help to take the edge off for all of the uncertainty that's going on now. Shit is fucking crazy out there. At least you can come and listen to us and things will be a little less crazy. If we can do that, then we have succeeded.
Yep. All right, guys. Let's see here. I'm probably going to completely jack this up because every time I do it goes weird. But here we are. Then we're going to do... I don't even know where I'm at anymore. Here it is. All right, guys. We'll see you on the flip.